All right. Hello, everyone. My name is Vivian Bird, and I am the librarian 3 here at the Exploration and Creativity Department of the Los Angeles Public Library. And I'm joined by my colleague, Diane Olivo Posner, Associate Director of the Exploration and Creativity Department. And it is our pleasure to welcome you all today to your author series featuring Charlotte Cheng as they discuss their book Roar Choo. I should make it more fiery, like Roar Choo. Yep. We want to thank our generous donor, the Lenore S. and Bernard A. Greenberg Fund, as well as the Library Foundation of Los Angeles, and our amazing behind the scenes staff for helping the library bring these author and illustrator programs to you. Thank you all so much.
We would also like to recognize and acknowledge the first people of the land. We recognize and acknowledge their elders, past and present, as well as their descendants. For information on which territory you may reside in, check out native-land.ca. We will have a question and answer portion today. So it's toward the end of the program. So please save your questions and comments until then. Also, we will have an opportunity drawing to win a copy of the book. Vivian, I need your
Roar Choo.
Perfect. So please email us at yourauthor@lapl.org to be entered into the drawing. And we're putting that in the chat. So we'll put it in periodically and you can email us within the subject heading. If you could put Roar
Choo. Now, on to today's Your Author program. Charlotte Cheng creates stories on rocks, sidewalks, libraries, and once in a while, the good old traditional piece of paper. She has written and illustrated a variety of books, including Roar Choo, Night Market Rescue, and Bobo Loves Dumplings. I love dumplings. Represented by Red Fox Literary, Charlotte has spoken at many events and taught in interactive workshops. She has also been an active member of SCBWI for over 10 years. With over 20 years of EdTech experience, Charlotte has written and published K-12 curriculums for influential companies, including Leapfrog, Disney, and Wonder Workshop. She also hosted and produces EdTech Adventure podcasts, which explores the roles of technology, STEM, and creative play in education. Charlotte lives in San Francisco Bay Area, where she enjoys playing board games and ukulele while sampling the local boba beverage. You're my kind of people. Yay. Charlotte is here today to share Roar Choo. And let's welcome Charlotte.
Hello, everyone. So excited to join you all.
We're so happy you're able to be here with us.
Yep.
Even if you're in San Francisco, but right in California.
That's right.
You're still here.
Yeah. I don't know who has better boba. I think LA still beats the Bay Area just by a little bit.
I agree. I totally agree. I think probably more than a little bit.
Burn.
We're gonna start getting comments now, Viv.
Yes.
Uh-oh.
And we're putting some of Charlotte's social media in the chat too, so you can always connect with Charlotte that way.
Mm-hmm.
And tell her about your boba experience.
Yes, that's right. Well, let's have you start and maybe share your book with us.
Yes, happy to do so. I think we're gonna show some of the pages. So Roar Choo, I'm gonna read it with you all. And basically, this is inspired by a centuries-old folklore about dragon and phoenix that originated in China. In fact, it's been so long that ancient empires thought that the dragon represented the emperor and the phoenix represented the empress. And I thought, wait a second, what would happen if a dragon like this had a cold, and how would Phoenix respond to that? Because they basically are a relationship like yin and yang. So I'm going to do this read aloud with you all. And as I'm doing it, I want you to think about this. Am I more of a dragon or a phoenix? A dragon or a phoenix? All right. Are you all ready? All right, let's start the story. If you could go to the next page. Oh, and there's a dragon. Next page. Roar Choo. Words by Charlotte Cheng, that's me. Art by Dan Santat, which you might have heard of before. All right, next page. Dragons are fierce. Dragons are frightening. We take on the world with a mighty roar. Next page. Choo! Oh no. Looks like dragon has a cold. Can we have the next page? Sit down, relax, sip some orange ginger tea. It's time to stop to take a breath. Next page. But dragons can soar. Dragons can dive. We summon trembling thunder with a single roar. Choo! Oh dear. Take this blanket, take this scarf, take some time to settle in. Some peace and warmth will help you heal. But dragons should keep going. Dragons never quit. We tackle every problem with a powerful roar. Choo! Oh my goodness. Lie down. Close your eyes. Here's some simmering bone broth soup with garlic, green onions, and chrysanthemum blooms. But dragons must be brave. Dragons must be strong. We bring courage to the helpless with an inspiring roar. Choo! Oh man. Oops. What happened? Look at this. What happened with the sneezes? It looks like dragon made a big fire, big mess, and they have to work together to clean it up, huh? All right, let's see what happens next. Dragons can be tired. They can take a little break. A nap will do you wonders with a roar. Oh no. A phoenix must be patient. A phoenix must be careful. But a phoenix can't keep going without a little rest. A dragon can be gentle. A dragon can be kind. I can help the ones I love with a roar. Choo. The end. Now, here's the secret. You're thinking about are you a dragon or are you a phoenix? Well, guess what? For me, I'm a little bit of both. Sometimes I'm a dragon and I have to get projects done, or I just want to keep going and I don't want to stop. And sometimes I'm the phoenix where I'm trying to get my daughter to stop and slow down as well. And for you, I bet you have a little bit of dragon inside you and a little bit of phoenix inside you as well. And the whole idea is to make sure the dragon and phoenix work well together. So that's why I didn't call dragon a he or a she, or phoenix a he or she, because I want you all to see yourselves in both the dragon and phoenix. And I just want to call out that I dedicated this book to my husband, Brian, because he's my dragon and he's my phoenix in every single adventure that we go on together. Here's the next page. And there's a phoenix. All right. That's the end of the story. Hope you enjoyed it.
That is great. Thank you. Love it. Love it.
Glad you like it.
Yes.
It was really good. I just love
And
how
I'm
vibrant.
yeah, and I'm just really trying to think, am I a phoenix or dragon? Which one do I like? I've been thinking the whole time. I want to say I'm more like phoenix.
Okay, yeah. How about you, Diane? Are you more of a phoenix?
No, Vivian's very dragon. I don't know. She's
Oh!
Nah.
roar. I'm both, but I am Year of the Dragon, and I recognize that in me. Like I totally dragon with, when you were saying projects and you got to get this stuff done.
Right.
And then I see also when I just finally collapse and I'm like the phoenix saying, okay.
Time to slow down.
Yeah, time to slow down.
Yes.
And it's okay. Yeah.
That's great.
So we're going to move on to the Q&A session here. So we have some questions for you, and I hope you're ready.
I'm ready. I'm ready.
All right, Diane, you want to be the first one?
Sure.
Okay.
Can you talk a little bit about how you came up with the idea? You kind of have, but were you somewhere and you're like, I have to write this down. I'm going to write about a dragon in a
Yeah, happy to do so. So I heard your author, the series came about during the pandemic, and I actually wrote the story during the pandemic. Soon after, my whole family ended up with COVID. And I just thought it was so interesting to see how each one of us in the family tried to get better. Because I was totally the dragon. I kept going, all right, I gotta get back to work. I keep running, keep running. And I couldn't. My body just needed more time to heal. And my husband was the one who said, slow down, slow down. And it made me think back and forth, like, wait a second, there's something here. And I remembered all the way back. I grew up in LA. All the way back going to these Chinese restaurants with a giant dragon and phoenixes on the wall. And I thought, wait a second. That's what it is. That's that back and forth when you're trying to help your friend. And sometimes you're the dragon, they're the phoenix, back and forth. We complement each other when we help each other this way. So this book is really about self-care, taking care of yourself and taking care of others as well.
Mhm. Okay, my question for you is, how does your background and youth experience influence your writing?
Oh boy, I have been writing since I can barely remember. Like I lovingly, my mother will tell stories about how I would draw on the walls in the house, underneath tables. Like, my intro on sidewalks, I would just draw everywhere I could. And the next thing I thought, wait a second, with these drawings, I can make stories too. So even when I was very young, I really gravitated towards the picture book because it's a marriage of words and imagery, right? It was Dan's artwork and my words that together make the story. And so, like maybe third, fourth grade, I started telling people I wanted to be an author or illustrator one day. And I would write like these books and make dedications to my fourth grade teacher. Miss Wood. Like I was very serious about it. And I just set it aside for a while doing education, but I could never stop writing. I was always writing. It's something I have to do. It helps me process things like going through COVID, right? My next book coming out, I Miss You Most, which I'm excited to be visiting LA for, is about losing my grandfather. And so writing helps me process and think about these things I'm going through. And it also makes me it makes me excited to be able to share those ideas with kids in an approachable way, so that they can have conversations and they can process these feelings too.
Thank you.
You kind of answered some of the next question, but can you speak to, no, that's great because you can build on it. Can you speak to your journey as a writer? So you talked about how you started when you were young and then, you kept going. What was the path you took? Did did you write as a young person, which we know you did, and in college? So if you were telling people, I want to be a writer when you were young, did you know like, okay, I'm going to take, I don't know, writing in college, or I'm going to get my literature degree, or like what was your path? In case young people are like, yeah, what do I do? How do I do this?
Sure thing. I started looking at classes, and what's great is now there's so many online classes about children's books, writing, or just writing in general. I mentioned that I've been a member of SCBWI for over 10 years. That's the Society for Children's Books Writers and Illustrators. And there's a region in almost everywhere around the world. So if you join SCBWI, you can find your region and go to events. And I remember going to some of my first classes and events, meeting people who are just as passionate about writing as me. Mm-hmm. And I was just like, I think I found my people, right? These are my people. And we keep each other going. So Night Market Rescue, which is a book, the first book I sold that came out last year, it's about a street dog that discovers a Taiwanese night market. That took me 10 years to sell. 10 years. And I think I would have given up along the way if it were not for that wonderful community of author friends and the critique group teams that I had that kept me going and kept going. There's something there, Charlotte. Keep applying. And you have to. You submit and apply to different publishers and agents, and finally sold one. But the beauty of it is I sold one to Rocky Pond Books, who published this book. And they in turn bought 4 more of my books within 1 year.
Wow.
So yeah, so it just shows that persistence pays off, and also that it takes a village. It really takes a village of people to cheer you on, for you to keep persisting and keep getting better, and then you eventually get to read books out loud that you wrote, and people like Dan illustrated. I mean, come on, that's
I know.
yeah.
So cool that Dan did it.
Yeah. So, what are some of the things, since we're talking about this whole writing process that you're going through? So, what are some of the things you know now that you wish you knew when you were first starting out in your respective field?
Sure. I took a long time realizing how important it is to find my unique voice. So, when I started writing stories, I just wrote the stories that I knew. And back then, there weren't as many books that were diverse, that had representation, right? And so my first couple stories I wrote, and I didn't even realize I was writing with characters that weren't Asian. They were usually Caucasian. And I was going to these conferences, and I remember seeing the first Asian author and illustrator speaking at one of these events, and how they said, I write from my lived experiences. I write about my unique experience because that's what makes me unique, and that's what makes me stand out. And that really shifted my thinking to, wait a second, why don't I write about Taiwanese night markets? People are always asking about what they are and what food there is, and I can uniquely write that story. And so the same thing with Dragon Phoenix, right? I uniquely know that relationship. I've lived it through my whole life. And so that's what I would tell any writer and my past self, because I spent so many years not writing what I knew and what was from my heart. And I wrote more what I thought would sell. And it will never sell if it doesn't come from your heart, and it doesn't come from your unique voice as well.
Thank you.
Yeah, so definitely, life experience and lived experience. Now, I mean, most writers always say that because then it rings true to people. They can tell.
Yeah.
So we were talking about the Chinese zodiac earlier, and so what Chinese zodiac animal are you?
Oh, well, I am the year of the dog, loud and proud. Yeah, we're known to be stubborn. We're known to be loyal. And in case people don't know what the Chinese zodiac is, this is like the belief that every year represents a different zodiac animal. There's 12 different animals that rotate every 12 years. So for me, I'm aging myself by just saying I'm the year of the dog. But what's really funny is my husband is the year of the monkey. My daughter is the year of the pig. And if some of y'all might know the Monkey King story, in the Monkey King story, there's the monkey and there's a pig and there's no dog. And so my daughter was very offended by this. And she's really inspired by me writing books. So she says, I'm going to be an author one day, and she's planning her own book parties. And she wrote her own version of Monkey King that also has a dog ninja. So
Nice.
Nice.
Oh yeah, so it's really funny how much the zodiac animals sort of just creep into your life when you have this kind of heritage. Yeah.
Yes.
Vivian, what are you?
I'm a year of rabbit.
Okay.
Yeah. And I think I just gave my age away too. So
Yeah. Well, I will too. I'm year of the dragon, and I'm very proud of being a dragon. And my oldest son is year of the dragon.
That's cool.
So yay.
nice. 2 dragons in the house.
I know.
Ooh.
That look.
Oh.
All right.
So I'm going to move on to the next question I have for you. So what was the last best thing you ate, read, watched, or experienced, that is you find most inspiring?
Oh my gosh, that's so hard. Like one of each, or just one of them?
Whatever you want.
Whatever you want.
I will say, I recently was finished reading the Amulet series, the graphic novel series, and I got to see, he visited our local bookstore and shared his process and why it took so long for him to write that final book. And so that was really great to see, like, the end of like such an epic adventure. And I will always, I didn't most recently watch this, but I'm always going to recommend Steven Universe. It is such a beautiful animated series, also so colorful, so adventurous, and so fun. So those would be the two I recommend.
Awesome. I was hoping you would say it's something that you ate because I was thinking of the stinky tofu in Taiwan.
Oh,
If you would write a storybook about stinky
sure,
tofu.
I will. Okay, so one of my favorite drinks, I have moved on from boba, everybody. I have moved on from boba because guess this, San Mateo just opened up a grass jelly like stand, and I'm like, oh my gosh, I have not had fresh made grass jelly in forever. Look it up. It's a really refreshing like replacement for boba in a drink. And so you can get like grass jelly with peanuts and coconut jelly mixed in with like lychee, all within a drink with some lemon. It's so good. And so that was a recent treat that I had yesterday.
See, we're
So
gonna
is it-
we're pivoting this towards food now.
I know. 'Cause now I'm like, wait, what kind of jelly? Is it different kinds or like strawberry jelly or grape jelly?
No, this is like specifically grass jelly. Like look it up. It's made a certain way. It's not too sweet. It's not too like it's like earthy. It's almost like a matcha.
It's a type of herb.
Yes.
Yeah, it's a type of herb.
It's known to cool you down. So if you're
Yes.
having a really hot like day, grass jelly, mwah, delicious.
Yes.
Okay, now we need some when you come in September. We need some.
Yeah. Like we'll go out for grass jelly. You all have way more grass jelly than we do. So
Yes.
yeah.
Okay. Well, you kind of answered this one a little bit, but who are some current authors and illustrators or illustrators that you find inspiring and why?
Oh boy. Okay, that's impossible to answer because I know so many amazing authors and illustrators. Of course, I've got to give a shout out to Dan
I was
Santak.
going to say Dan's listening going, excuse me.
Yes, I mean, every spread in this book feels like it's bursting from the page. I want to like have a print of every spread to put up in my house. One of my favorites is this tender scene. In fact, I turned it into a t-shirt. That's how much I love it, is this spread right here. I mean, look at that little tiny teacup in the dragon like hands. So just like illustrations like that. Amber Wren illustrated my last book, Night Market Rescue, just made the illustrations glow. Oh my gosh, I can't. Diana Toledano is like a really good friend of mine, and she does amazing artwork. Sophie Diao is about illustrating one of my next books, and Cindy Yan, Xindiyan, she's illustrating another book of mine next year, and it's her. Oh, she illustrated I Miss You Most, which is I mean, I cried when I saw the illustrations. So there's that kind of work. And then on the author side, Michael Jen Hart just wrote Spanish is the Language of My Family, which I highly recommend you all do in LA. It's such a beautiful story about the National Spanish Spelling Bee. Just written so wonderfully. So I could go on with this question, so I'm going to stop here. Yeah.
So now we can put all those recommendations in the comments, which we don't have time for. My poor team in the back's going, what, Diane? But I'm sure you could check all the books that you recommended at the library.
Of course. Yeah.
So my next question for you is, what library stories would you like to share?
Well, I pretty much grew up in the library. Okay. I have shirts that say like raised by libraries. I basically all my shirts are from Out of Print Clothing. I'm going to do another plug. All the shirts are book themed. So every day I'm wearing a book shirt. And I just remember one of my fundamental memories, my first library I visited was in Monterey Park Library.
Ooh, shout out to Monterey Park.
And walking in and realizing how many books there could be in the world. Because before then, it was maybe 15 books at home, 20 at most, right? And just going, there's so many books. And I remember realizing the cap to borrow was 12 back then. And I remember making a giant stack of books and having to like curate and pick only 12, and what a struggle that was. And then later when I got older, my mom took me to the main branch in LA, and it just blew my mind.
Central Library.
The Central Library was just like, there are floors there are floors of books, and I just panicked. I'm like, there's so many books to read. And so I remember that. And then I had lunch in the libraries through middle school. Librarians were always my friend. I'm besties with the librarians across the street from me. They've really been a thread through my life. My neighbor was a librarian too. And in fact, I have a little free library in my front yard that's dedicated to a librarian, Sony Hannigan. I'm going to shout her name out. We worked together at a school. She passed away during the pandemic. And so we made a dedicated plaque just for her, because I just know and love the work that you all do.
Oh, and make us cry.
Yeah, I know.
But don't stop. Keep going.
Yes. Yeah, of course. I will.
Okay, we love that. I love that we're all one big happy library family, because there are a lot of different library systems in LA. There's not just LA City, there's LA County, Monterey Park, Pasadena, South Pasadena, Glendale, Long Beach. And we're definitely one big, we want people to be able to have library cards from every place. I think that's pretty cool. Okay. How do fans connect with you? Which we've been putting in the chat and on the screen. So where do you usually go to most though? Like, I know I'm more of an Instagram person, but yeah,
Instagram's great. You can message me there. If you go to my website, charlotte.art, there's a contact section that you can contact me. And there's more information, because my favorite thing to do ever is to teach, right? I have over 20 years of experience. So I love visiting schools. I love visiting with fellow passionate authors and things like that. So there's more information about how you would like me to visit, or if you have questions. I get emails all the time with aspiring authors too, who go, where do I start? And I have some resources that I share with them if they reach out to me as well. So yeah, that's the best way to contact me.
And are you sitting in your studio? Like, do you have a room you go to in your house, or do you go to an actual place to go write, and you always have to have your special tea? Jelly tea?
I've had to be more flexible. I'm a mother of a 5-year-old, right? And so, to be honest, most of my writing is done in Google Docs. So I will be literally writing stories in the passenger seat of the car, or in line for boba sometimes, or when my daughter's having a bath and I'm in the bathroom, right? So I'll do that and I do that to think of brainstorming ideas. And then when I want a really focused time, I do a weekly write-in. So if you want to do it, it's really great. I'm an extrovert, so I really like writing with other people because it keeps me accountable. And up here in our region, we have a weekly write-in where a bunch of us meet on Zoom, and we commit to 45 minutes of just writing. And we share our intentions at the beginning, and we write for 45 minutes, and at the end, we share how it went. And that whole process helped me write the last book I sold, only through those writing sessions. So it's a little bit of both, right? There's the flexibility where I can write on my phone, but then if I really need intense work, I'm at my desk full of inspirations. I have 100 pens. I have penguins galore because I love penguins.
Oh,
I have my artwork in the back. This is a banner that kids made for me when I visited a school. So just full of inspiration to keep me excited and keep me going while I'm writing.
It's like Vivian's desk and my desk. Yeah, it's just full of stuff.
Yes.
Full of stuff. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. You're not seeing mine, but it's full of stuff.
Yeah.
Right now, I put all of them on the ground so you guys can't see them.
I know, and you're just going, what is this doing here? I mean, I have a prism because I just like touching it sometimes.
It's like the dragon. It looks like a dragon scale.
Rubik's Cube. What is this? The current company I work for, Code Combat World. So we made a Rubik's Cube of our game. So I'm like, okay, that's on my desk. I'm gonna do that. Yeah. So there's all sorts of stuff like that.
When you draw, did you want to draw this book yourself, or are they the publisher's no, we're gonna get Dan Santat to do it? So yeah. How do you do both?
It's hard. It's really hard. Dan actually, that was his first question he asked, why didn't you want to illustrate this one? And I have a certain style. If you look at the books I've illustrated, it's a little bit more flat, more simplistic. When I wrote the story, I knew how much it needed to feel big and real and larger than life. And so I knew, hey, that's not my style. And part of, like I said, that dance of words and pictures is recognizing if you're a good match for a story. And so for me, my illustration is not a great match for this story, but my words are, right? And so that's that pairing. I'm a much faster writer than an illustrator. I don't know how Dan does it.
Yeah.
He just did these like boom with that much verve. So I've been leaning more into writing, just with juggling, like being a mom, full-time job, writing on as well. So yeah.
It's amazing.
Yeah.
I want to give a shout out to one of our partners, Tinker the Robot. Kay was able to like connect us. So Viv, do you want to know how long we've been working with Kay? I don't know. It seems like she's just part of our library family. So
Well, I met Kay way back, I think in 2016. She was actually my mentor when I was at the LA Clean Tech Incubator.
Oh
Yeah. So they had like a fellowship program. That's how I met her. And then we pretty much just being in touch. And then I think it was in 2018, 19, she kind of told me that she's wanted to start something new. She wanted to kind of start coming out doing her own things. And then we've been connect since. And then, she's been really a huge help in terms of developing, growing our STEM program. So I really, really thank Kay. So thank you so much, Kay.
yes, she just keeps bringing us like, she goes, I have I have to bring you Charlotte. And I'm
Yep.
like, yes.
Well, I know Kay is actually on right now with her daughter. Hey,
Hi, Kay.
yeah. Kay and I grew up together, basically. Like, and so just in the heart of LA, on playgrounds, in libraries, and just to see what she's built out of Tinker the Robot, definitely check it out. Like,
Yes.
I just did a circuit kit that she made with my 5-year-old, and she had a blast using like copper tape to make closed circuits to make light bulbs light up. And she went, how did that work? And it was really cool having this little booklet to walk her through the whole concept. So
Yep.
Okay, I'm plugging you hard.
Yeah, big time.
Okay.
That was part of the infomercial part, I guess.
Yeah, no. I mean, it's not an infomercial.
Yes.
I honestly really enjoy the product.
Yeah. That would be your next picture book. Something like that. I was thinking though, one of your new picture books needs to be on drink boba and
Stinky tofu.
tofu.
I need people to love stinky tofu. So
Oh.
what is something good about
Well,
it?
I've got to plug another author, Ying Compostine, who's based in San Francisco. She just came out with a twist on Rapunzel called Rapunzel. Also from my same publisher, Rocky Pond Books, and it has stinky tofu. So
There you go,
I
Viv.
recommend checking that out.
Yes, I will do that.
Yeah,
Thank you.
yeah. So, of course, I'm working on one about ai.
Oh, yes.
Special plant. It's a very unique way of making a drink, very similar to grass jelly. I'm doing some research on it. It's fascinating how they invented it. And I have another author friend coming out next year with a book about the invention of soy sauce. So lots of different. But if you want to read about food, Night Market Rescue is just full. There's like Taiwanese sausage on a page. There's there's just delicious fried goods all over every single spread. So that's one to check out as well.
Cool. Thank you. I will definitely look into it.
Yeah.
So what's next, Diane?
So we're feel free, people out there watching, to send in your questions. Kay, you too. Feel free.
Yes.
Any of our librarians out there, feel free. And hopefully everyone will get to watch this later too. A lot of LUSD students can, they could always email you those questions because we won't be live anymore, but they know now how to connect with you. And everyone needs to remember that they can win a book. And just, they need to email us at yourauthor@lapl.org. We just put it right there on the screen and it's in the chat. And that's pretty cool. We also have copies, of course, you could check out in the library. And then hopefully next time we have, when we have Charlotte in person, she'll be able to bring the book in and she can, sign it, autograph it. And we do have some rapid fire questions we can get to. And then if any questions come in, a very, very important librarian, Kevin Awakuni, sent in a question. What's Charlotte's next project? Or what are
Oh,
you working on? Because I know sometimes authors and illustrators, you have like 10 things that you're working on.
yes, yeah. So I am starting to lose count. 4 books coming out over the next year.
Wow.
So the one I'm visiting you all with, I Miss You Most, near and dear to my heart, about my grandfather's passing. In fact, I didn't get to say goodbye to him. It was during the pandemic. So we finally got to go back to Taiwan last year, and we brought it to the altar, the family altar, and read it to him, and left a copy of it with him at the altar. So please, I will try not to cry when I read this story to you all, but that's the next one. And then next year, woo, there is A Name for Sister. It's about a naming ritual from Chinese heritage. There's Icy Fruit, about how my other grandfather started a popsicle company in Taiwan.
Ooh.
Yeah, so food again, of course. Yeah. And then I have another book called Ama's Purse, which is about the magical things you can find in your grandmother's purse. Because you know your grandmother's purses. And then we're working on one more Mandarin bilingual book. It's a sequel, one of the sequels to Bobo Loves Dumplings, and this one's going to be about gardening and the senses. So lots of books down the pipeline. So there's that, and then I'm working on like some secret stories, some ideas. I have a whole document that's like 30 different book ideas, and every time I just try and pick one and I work on it. So that's my process there.
Wonderful.
I'm
Wow.
excited. There's popsicles coming, Viv.
I know. There's food. And I love the story about, you call it ama, which is grandma. That's how we call our grandma. And yeah, I'm definitely going to have my nephews reading these books. Yeah, they need more of these, to learn about their own cultures for sure. So yeah.
And it's true. And in Spanish, it's abuela. And it's true. Like anything I ever needed, my grandma always had. And I think I've become that now too, because anytime someone needs something, I'm like, what? Band-Aid?
It's
what do
crazy.
you need? A piece of gum? What do you need? A piece of tape? I'm like, how do I have all this?
How did we become that? Because I have a fanny pack, and I have like hand sanitizer, always a snack, and a pen, and and my both of my amas always had like some type of candy or sweet. So peppermint candy, like a cracker, like a cookie or something like that.
The snack. Vivian can tell you we were somewhere, and I'm like, I have a granola bar. I know.
Yeah.
And I did. Saved us. Okay. What else do we have? Any other questions come in? Let's see. It is a Friday, and I know a lot of people are still recovering from the solar eclipse that happened on April 8th. Okay, well, let's move on to some of the surefire questions, and you can, take your little time. Right. Usually we're making you go fast, but we don't have to. And then if Viv and I think of anything else, which I know I still have other questions, but in case somebody else, I want to share the wealth with other questions. I'll do the first one, Viv. You could do the next one.
Sure.
Would you rather be a cook or a baker?
I actually like baking more. And I have a gluten allergy, so it's more of a challenge. So one of my favorite recipes we've honed is a gluten-free almond flour banana muffin with chocolate chips and walnuts. Ooh. It's so good. So
sounds really good.
Yeah. So she'll be making those for us when she comes down. Okay, good.
Okay, great.
I'm gonna put that down in my notes.
Okay.
Would you rather be a bird or a mountain?
That's so hard. I think I would want to be a bird. I just love the concept of flying. I've gone skydiving before. Yeah, I love roller coaster rides. I love going to the tops of buildings. And so I think being a bird would be pretty awesome.
Wow. You two.
We're adventurous.
Diane, yes. You're the dragon. Come on.
Yeah, you gotta fly. You gotta fly. We're gonna make you fly next time.
Pilot, but I wanted to fly the plane, and then you guys were the ones jumping out. I was flying.
Oh, okay.
You're the one who's yes.
Okay. If you needed to hide an elephant, where would you do it, and why?
Yeah, why would I hide an elephant? That's sort of like strange. Where would I hide it? We have a local county event center, and it's just like a giant space where we have the county fair and all sorts of events. So I think I would take the elephant there, because then the elephant would have space to roam. And if someone was coming, you could always ask the elephant to go into one of the big buildings. So I'm on the practical side. Either that, or if I had magic, I would shrink the elephant into a little one, put it in my pocket, and then take it out when I need to.
Oh, that'd be kind of cool.
Yeah, that would be awesome.
Yeah.
So what's more annoying, soft talkers or loud talkers?
This is really tough. This is really tough. I guess soft talkers, because I feel really bad asking them to repeat more than once or twice or 3 times. And I'm the type of person, we watch movies and shows with subtitles on the bottom, just because of different accents, and I just don't want to lose any of the words. And so, yeah, that's so hard.
Mhm. That's a hard one. Okay. Would you rather be in a Netflix documentary as a subject or as the opponent of the subject?
Opponent of the subject, as in someone who's like arguing against the topic?
Guess. Yes, we wrote these questions a while ago.
Oh, okay. I think I always like to be on the optimistic side. So I think I would probably want to be the subject matter and like less of the yes but person. Maybe that's what makes me the dragon. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
All right. So if you could only have entertainment from one decade, which one would it be?
That's, oh my gosh.
That one is hard.
Yeah, that one's hard, but I will say, I have to say current decade, like hands down. I work at Code Combat, where we make video games that teach kids how to code.
Mhm.
And as I play through our games, and I think all the way back to me in the 80s with like the Apple computer with floppy disks, and how
Yes.
excited I was with like just a simple typing game, and just to see how far we've gone.
Oh, yeah.
I always envy. I'm like, oh, I wish I was in 5th grade right now, because all of the cool tools that I have access to and opportunities to learn and connect with kids around the world, all those tools are at your fingertips now. So that's pretty cool.
Yep. Agree 100%.
If you could be trapped, wait, is it my turn?
Yes.
Okay. If you could be trapped in any book or movie forever, which book or movie would it be? Forever.
Forever. Oh man. I have to say Steven Universe. I don't know if you've ever they live on a beach town. I'm an ocean gal. A beach town. Either you have a superpower or you're friends with someone who has a superpower. And they're very like inclusive and loving and all that piece. So I have back during pandemic, a lot of my Zoom backgrounds were scenes from Steven Universe, because it was just so zen and soothing for me. So I would pick that.
Forever. Okay.
I literally could. It's just check out the show and you'll understand why.
All right, you guys, you heard it. You heard that recommendation.
Yeah.
Yep. Check
Forever.
that. Yes. Who is one person, famous or not, you would love to sit down with for a long conversation?
Hands down, Oprah Winfrey. Okay. Oprah Winfrey. I own her 20th anniversary DVD collection. I've learned a lot from her aha moments. She's such a book lover, absolute book lover. Just such an inspiration as well. So I would hands down sit down and have a chat with her about how much she's evolved and changed over time. And she said if she could be anybody else, she would be a teacher. And she's built schools with that in mind. And so to me, that's also very inspirational, that she's very education forward and book forward as well.
Nice.
Yep.
Oprah's pretty cool.
Yeah.
I would agree. Viv, any other questions? Anything
No,
else?
I think we've grilled her pretty good today.
We know you, Charlotte, pretty well now.
Yes. Elephants and all.
Yes.
Jumping out of planes. Okay.
That's right.
All right. Well, we're really excited about getting to see you in September. So everyone, please check out our keep track of our online calendar, which is lapl.org is our landing page, and then there's a calendar section as you look at the screen to your right. And it'll probably be the weekend of September 7th and 8th, which is Grandparents Weekend. So cross fingers, and we'll let you know which branch it'll be at. It could be here at Central Library too. We're not sure, but we're really excited that Charlotte's going to be here with her new book. And then make sure if you have a copy of this one when you get it, you can also bring this one and get it signed. And we're going to have to give her back again when she has the popsicle book and Oma's purse. We're going to have to keep having Charlotte here. So thanks so much again for sharing. Dragon, Roar Choo!
And if I don't mind, I want to give a shout out. I'll be at the LA Times Book Festival next Saturday at the Taiwan Academy book booth, where I will also be reading aloud Night Market Rescue because Taiwan. So if you want to stop by, check it out. And then American Librarian Association Conference down in San Diego in June. I'll be giving a poster session there and also an author signing. So if you can't wait till September, there's some opportunities for you to come and visit me in Southern California as well.
Perfect.
Awesome.
Oh, cool.
That's awesome. I would love to meet you in person. Yes, I'll look forward to it.
Okay, so again, that's next weekend is the LA Times Book Festival, April 20th and 21st, I believe. Mm-hmm. And then down in San Diego, which is like the weekend of the June 26th through like the 28th, is the American Library Association's annual conference, and it's going to be down in San Diego. So lots of chances for everyone to meet Charlotte in person and get copies of her book, which we love.
Yay.
Thanks again, Charlotte.
Thanks for having me.
Thank you so much.
Wow, that was pretty cool, Viv.
Yes.
I'm very excited.
Yes, I really look forward to read all her books. Especially, I'm from Taiwan myself, so I can't wait to read books that's all tied into the culture that I'm familiar with. I have not really seen any of these picture books or storybooks that's really have a lot of elements about Taiwan, so I'm really looking forward to it.
Especially the food. If you guys know
Especially
Viv,
the food. Yes.
Viv is a foodie, so
yes.
I'm really excited about that book too.
Yep.
So, and the library does have copies, so check out the library to get copies of any of the books we talked about. And thank you for joining us today. We hope you enjoyed this Your Author. And remember to visit lapl.org/events to see more of our amazing programs. And check Your Author landing page at lapl.org/Your Author for our next author program, which I know we have next Thursday. It'll be another virtual program with, on this book, I Was There, American Dream. And librarian Yvette Cabrera will be the librarian interviewing the author. So check out the landing page for more information. And we really appreciate you tuning in. Thanks again. Thanks, Viv.
Thank you.